What's up, YouTube? Mike here with PeoplesChoiceGaming, and today in Elder Scrolls Online, we're going to take a look into the first veteran boss, the Banished cells, that we decided to do. Now, we are mostly earlier veteran rank, and this is veteran rank 5, it says. I'm not sure how all the veteran dungeons go. Guessing, there's going to be some with lower rank, but this is said to be one of the easier dungeons, so we started out with this. We started off with this one because it was still, 10 times tougher than regular dungeons. So we started off with this one, and I'm going to go through all the bosses and help you guys out so you'll know how to defeat them. Now with this first boss here, pretty easy. Start with one of the Atronarchs, move to the other Atronarch, and then focus on the boss. All your DPS and healer needs to do is stay out of the way of the Atronarch's flames they throw out. And then when you get to the regular, when you get to the actual main boss, you are going to need to watch out for the fire. That's it. You will hear my teammates talking a little bit throughout. Couldn't really get around that. Being a veteran dungeon, we kind of all needed to, talk a lot more than we'd have to on the regular dungeons. So you might hear them bitch here and there. But till we get leveled up and the dungeons are much easier, we'll, have to communicate with each other a lot more. But on the final boss here, he's really just going to do these flame trails, and all you need to do is dodge the flame trails and move around them, and other than that, just burn them down. He's really not that tough. The flame will hurt you. It will take your health down very quickly, so definitely just really try to watch out for that. And common sense, dude, don't be a vampire. Unless you have all that flame resistance taken care of, because the dungeons just have so much flame.
Oh, nice, I got a ring.
And we're going to move on to the second boss here. This boss coming up is actually really easy when you know what to do. This next boss, he just takes a little longer to defeat. Now, if you're a tank, you might want to switch your taunt from the puncture to inner fire, because it's your only ranged taunt. It's in the Undaunted skill line, the Undaunted guild. That way you can throw taunts from across the room, so you don't always have to run up on the boss. Now notice how I just procced Purify there. So basically with this boss, you're going to fight him like you would any boss, using your attacks, your main attacks and whatnot, and then he's going to put fire right in front of him. And if you stay in the fire too long, you're going to notice that you're kind of covered in lava. That is a debuff. Now, all you got to do is the healer's Purify that you never should proc, because it's better if you're just always getting the healing from it, because if you proc it, it'll go away. But when you do proc it, it removes debuffs. So on this boss, you do want to proc it when you're covered in lava, and it will totally get rid of your debuff. Now you hear what my healer's saying right there, because we're talking about how I can't cast Purify sometimes. It seems a little bit buggy here and there, but you do need to make sure your healer is recasting Purify each time. And basically, if you don't get rid of the debuff, what's going to happen is you're going to make a trail of flames all over the room. You're going to cover the whole room in flames, probably going to kill everybody, and make the boss really tough. If you proc Purify, then you won't make the trail of flames everywhere, and that boss is super easy. Now this boss, probably the easiest boss in the whole dungeon. And you're actually going to notice me mess up once the first time, because I don't get my block off quick enough, and he actually one-shots me on something. Basically, was it that right there? Or actually, no, we actually, I didn't record the first time I fought him. But basically, you're going to see him do a power attack. Really easy to see, just like all power attacks. He's going to wind up and everything. And if you are melee and he goes to do that power attack, just make sure you block, because it's going to take a ton of your life away. It might one-shot you depending how low your health is. Other than that, really, really easy boss. Now the That's our healer there. Talking about
I like that.
doing his one-hand shield defense.
What the fuck? Why are there bad guys here?
The third boss coming up here is the toughest boss in the dungeon. Really tough. And I'm going to show you a trick how to make it the easiest boss in the dungeon.
I'm using Veil of Blades first.
But I'm also going to show you, or we'll basically talk you through how you beat her if you stay in this room the normal way. So basically with this boss, you're going to, you know, just try to get some damage on her like you normally would. She's going to jump into her electric balls and spawn ads. Now, there's going to be 3 stages of ads. And the first stage, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's imps. Not too bad. If your DPS does not have enough DPS, or crowd control, or AoE, well, pretty much all those things, then you as a tank, you know, definitely try to jump in there and get him killed quicker. And then jump right back on the boss when the boss comes back out of those blue balls. And yeah, I know, blue balls. Let's hear the jokes. Now, make sure, you know, make sure you do not step in the red circles the blue balls make. It'll really mess you up. And make sure those ads get killed quick. Now, the second wave is the flying, I think maybe imps or some kind of creatures. The first wave was, the Banekins, I think. The third wave is the Clan Fears. They do the most damage. They have the most health. They're the toughest. To defeat them, you need your DPS to crowd control them so they stay in one place, and they are maybe like stunned, and you got to do a bunch of AoE damage. That's what you have to do, because if you don't kill them quick enough, you're going to lose this battle. Plus, do not run around the map a bunch, because it spreads the balls around, because it seems like they kind of chase you. Makes the whole fight a lot tougher. And it's still a really tough fight if you don't have really high DPS, really good AoE, and really good crowd control for these stages of ads. Now, here's the trick to defeating this boss very easily. Pull down the tank, or sorry, have the tank, which is me in this video, pull the boss all the way down the stairs so she's not in her spawn area. And then she will not spawn ads, and she will not spawn all those blue balls that jump around the room. Now, typically in raids, you know, in video games and MMOs, there are tricks to defeating bosses to make ads easier, you know, interrupts so that certain stages of ads don't happen. And those are mechanics of the fight that you're meant to do. You're meant to figure out. This isn't one of those things. This would, you know, pretty much be called an exploit. And they're most likely going to fix. But until they fix it, at least you can get the dungeon done easier if you couldn't beat that boss in her actual spawn room. The exploit is obviously taking any boss out of their spawn room, and then they don't do any of their mechanics. It is a huge exploit, and it happens with multiple bosses, and you know, it's definitely going to be fixed soon. So just to let you know, that's a super easy way, obviously, to kill some of the bosses. But if you're fighting the boss normally, just remember what I said. Everyone stay together. Don't scatter everywhere.
And how many times did we die?
See, I told you there was a trick to the fight.
And make sure you kill all the mads.
All of the keeper bosses, their spawn
This is our buddy right now
their triggers
telling us what I just told you.
triggers don't activate.
So
You sound funny on Shiz's mic.
AoE, crowd control, really high DPS, everybody stay together. Now this is the next boss. Not too bad.
Apparently one's gonna heal. And we gotta switch
This
the,
boss here, you're going to start with one of them, and you're going to DPS them down. When those healing orbs come in, just like you would normally in the game, you got to destroy them quickly so that the boss doesn't get health back from those. And then when the boss gets a shield, you need to move over to the other boss. And then just like the first boss, because they're just copies of each other, you're just going to DPS the boss down. Nothing's really going to mess you up too bad. You shouldn't have to worry about, you know, getting one-shot or anything, as long as you got a decent healer. Just destroy the orbs before you get to the boss. And make sure, obviously, DPS is doing the orbs. You as a tank should not be messing with the orbs. our DPS just didn't run to the orbs in the very beginning right away, so I destroyed some of them. And you can help on some of them, it's not a big deal, but DPS should try to take the orbs down, obviously. You should just worry about tanking the boss like you pretty much, you know, always are as a tank. And once the shield goes up, you need to move to the other boss. And that's pretty much it on this fight. I'm not going to show the whole fight because this fight takes a little bit longer, and everything that I told you is all you need to know to defeat this boss. Now let's go ahead and move on to the final and last boss. Oh, sorry. One last thing. That I did forget one thing. The other boss will spawn orbs too. So even though you aren't fighting the other boss while her shield's up, one DPS needs to go over there and destroy the orbs. Otherwise, the other boss, while you're not fighting her, is going to get all her health back. Sorry about that. That is one last mechanic you do need to know. Alright, and as for the last boss...
You should have told me you were going to read through the whole thing.
Here's the last boss fight here. You just got to kill a few ads and then talk to the guy. And then he comes out right over there where the exploding rocks are. This boss fight's a little bit longer, but not that tough. He only has one real mechanic you need to know about. See right there how he sends people up into a globe? And then he's going to drop you. And you're going to have to run over to the colored areas that correspond with the color that you get. However, you do not have to do that. So once you get sucked up in the air, if you're the one that gets stuck in the globe and taken up, basically, essentially, you have a debuff on you. So you do not have to do the mechanic of the fight, you know, where you got to run away and everything to the color coordinating area. All you got to do is go into the healer's purify circle and proc purify. That'll get rid of your debuff. And of course your healer is going to have purify because, I mean, if your healer didn't have purify, he would be a terrible healer. All healers got to have purify, especially if you're doing a tougher, you know, veteran dungeon. And then the boss will spawn ads. There will be some healing globes there you need to destroy. And you see me run over to the ads a couple times. You know, the tank doesn't need to do that, obviously. You know, just let the DPS take care of the ads. And have the tank, you know, just stay on the boss like he should be. And that's pretty much it. It's a really easy fight. Destroy the healing globes. You are going to have some ads. And make sure if you're the one that gets sucked up in the globe, up into the air, that when you drop back down, run over to where the healer's purifying circle is. And hit the corresponding button to proc the purify, which removes your debuff. And if you aren't the tank, then you need to take care of the ads and those healing globes that are healing the boss. When there's no ads, then just DPS the boss. So a longer fight, a much longer fight than most, but a very easy fight if you know what to do.
I got hit along the way too.
And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe.
Get some sort of like speed or something because it also slows you down.
And I will see you guys soon with the next veteran dungeon.
Wait, did I not get the depot? I'm confused. I got lifted up in the circle, and then I didn't get it. Hey, I got robes of the worm cult.
I got the jacket. Fucking jacket.
Jacket?